Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're going to be playing Storm, Poison Spells, basically just mono spells infect, and this deck basically relies on these two cards here, Prologue to Phyresis and Infectious Inquiry. Both of these give our opponent a poison counter. Prologue is each opponent gets a poison counter, draw a card. Infectious Inquiry, you draw two cards and lose two life, so basically Knight's Whisper, and opponent gets a poison counter. Obviously 8 is not enough to actually take out our opponent and win the game. So we have 12 over here cards that proliferate. Contentious Plan proliferates and draws a card. Steady Progress does the same thing at instant speed for 2 and a blue instead of 1 and a blue. And then Experimental Augury proliferates as well as gives you an Anticipate effect, which can help you dig. This proliferation synergizes super well with our mana base and our mana artifacts. The mana base uses these depletion lands, which come into play with 2 depletion counters on them. You can remove a depletion counter to add 2 of whatever color. So Woodlot is green, we have black and blue. We're mostly a mono blue deck if you look at our spells, so we have almost all blue lands. So the 4 scary and the rest are just islands. You could consider splashing with maybe like a green and a black land, but I think having the blue untapped land on turn 2 is very important for consistency of the deck, so that's how I decided on this mana base. Now, the 2 mana artifacts that we're using, one is Pentad Prism, which is basically, I would say, like one of the best possible cards in the deck. It has Sunburst, so when you cast it, it gets a charge counter for every color of mana you spent to cast it of the 2 mana. So you can cast it for 2 blue, and it gets 1 charge counter, or a black and a blue, and then it gets 2 charge counters. So then when you proliferate, you continue to get charge counters. It kind of acts as a cost reducer in our deck. And then if you have 2 of them in play, Contentious Plan, so like your 2 mana proliferation spell ends up being mana neutral because you just get the mana right back with the Pentad Prism. It's really awesome. Over here, Everflowing Chalice, it has multi-kicker of 2, and then it enters the battlefield with a charge counter for every time it was kicked, and you get to add a colorless mana for every charge counter on it. So we don't use a lot of colored pips. If you look at this deck, it's kind of low to the ground, but it allows you to do a lot at once, so I'm going to be keeping it. Like we tap this for 6, then we have 3 open blue, and we just cast like multiple of our spells, just keep slamming spells. So over here in the last column is our non-proliferation, non-mana spells. So we're going to start with the draw. Deep Analysis, I think, is one of the best draw spells in Pauper. For 1 card, you're drawing 4 cards, and it costs 6 total, which is why Everflowing Chalice is very, very good. It also has Flashback, so it's good against counterspells. And then we are going to be playing 4 of those because we have 4 Weather the Storm in the deck, which is you gain 3 life with Storm. So our main way to interact with our opponent is to ignore them by storming off and gaining a bunch of life. And then with Weather the Storm, it makes the 3 life from Deep Analysis not matter quite as much. Our second way to interact with our opponent is Fiery Cannonade. I tried playing Teachings and playing playing Fiery Cannonade, also playing Swirling Sandstorm. I think Swirling Sandstorm is very good versus walls, but I don't know if that's even a winnable matchup. Fiery Cannonade is very, very good versus elves, very good versus fairies, and can be good enough, I think, versus Cold Other Red that putting in the main deck is good enough. So that's what we're going to do. Could consider a 2 mana spell because instead of playing Teachings in this list, I'm going to be playing Muddle the Mixture. I tried playing Muddle the Mixture in a different version of this list just so that I could search up the Pentad Prism. So Muddle the Mixture has Transmute for 1 blue. You can search for a 2 mana spell in your deck. So that gets us our Prologue, our Augury, Contentious Plan, Pentad Prism, also the Weather the Storm. I think that's probably worth it over the Teachings because Pentad Prism is so valuable that being able to search that is very, very good. Now the other card that I'm playing that we have not played yet in one of these lists that is from the mind of Pyotr Pavel is Academy Wall. It's Defender, it's an 05, it says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you can draw a card and then discard a card. If you do. So you don't have to, but if you want to, then you get to loot one time. And it says it triggers only once each turn. So why is this good? We have noted that this deck tends to flood out because we have all of these cards that are blind draws, no card selection whatsoever in this deck. Basically every single thing that you draw cards is just like raw card draw. We're going to flood out eventually. We have 18 plus 8, 26 mana sources here. That is so many. We're just going to flood like crazy. So having some number of loots is good. Plus an 05 body is very good, being able to block Enforcers and block Swift Spear, Kuldotha tokens, whatever. If you block a Kuldotha token, they have to have a Galvanic Blast to kill it instead of having just a Lightning Bolt to take it out. So maybe that'll work. I tried it a little bit in Solitaire and it was kind of nice. So we're going to go with it. Over here in the sideboard, we haven't changed very much. For Bring the Ending to fight against specifically counterspell decks like Flickerlock decks, like Familiars and Tron. Also bringing it in when we don't need our Weather Storms and stuff. Idle Spellbomb is for graveyard combo decks or Flickerlock decks. I've not been bringing it in against Terror, but we'll see what we do. And we're playing 3 Anoint with Affliction as a removal spell. Because it has Corrupted, it can exile anything. I think it's worth playing that over something like Cast Down. 2 Inside Outs. So I don't think I need that many removal spells, and Inside Out is extremely good versus walls. Very valuable because of the 2-for-1, specifically because it says draw a card. So an 0-3 wall turns into a 3-0 dies, and then you draw a card. 2-for-1, very, very good. And then in the last slot here is 3 Moments Peace for aggro decks. And when we would bring it in would pretty much just be for Bogles. And since you're bringing it in only for Bogles, you could consider playing, instead of Moments Peace, playing 2 Serene Hearts or something. Not really sure if that's the play or not. It could be. Then you could go higher on Inside Outs and stuff. We'll see. You could pick up the Serene Heart with the Muddled Mixture too. Well, we'll figure it out. I think there's still some refining to do. I was just having some fun solitaring this, so let's see if we can get a good league in and have some fun. If you like this deck, check out the primer and the sideboard guide on the Patreon. If this league goes well, I'll just go ahead and update the sideboard guide for this specific list. It's been tough to refine the deck overall, but it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. Check out, like I said, check out the Patreon and hit me up with a like and subscribe. Also check out maybe leaving a comment and letting me know what you thought about the deck. Was Academy Wall worth it? Who knows? Alright, we'll see you in the matches. Okay, we're on the draw, but we did open a very good hand with the turn 2 Prism into Proliferate. So we're keeping for sure, and we're just hoping that we're not facing blue. Let's see. Kring is playing a turn 1 Plains into Laguna Man. Beatbog, go. So we're relying on storming off into Weather Storm. We don't have really any other options here. Fiery Cannonade's not good enough, but Moment's Peace is good. Alright, they're going to hit us for 2. So if we draw another land, maybe we just prologue right now? Nope. Okay. Pentad Prism. The Doot. And then we play the Augury, looking for a mana source. This is interesting. We don't really need the Deep Analysis right now. Everflowing Chalice is very, very good. Next turn we're going to have 5. So we can go 1, 2, Chalice, play Prologue. Next turn after that, play Steady Progress into Inquiry. I think I take the Chalice here. Okay, get some counters back. Pass the turn. Mostly because we really need to maximize the value of the Weather Storm, and I think that having the extra mana from the Everflowing Chalice would be worth it. We're going to get hit for 5. So we have one more setup turn before we have to start doing stuff. Wow. Okay. Let's go Prism. Cast this Chalice. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then I'm gonna pass. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Not really sure how I want to do this. Maybe the play is to just cast Prologue here and then next turn lead on Steady Progress and just let my land die. They're gonna hit us for 8. I think I have to start doing stuff. We go to 5. Luckily they're only on the 1 land. Prologue here. Fiery Cannonade's not helpful. Okay. So I can play the land, play Steady Progress floating in black. Okay, Progress. Doot. This one. Ever-flowing Chalice. So I can cast that for Storm. Yeah, it's gonna smack us. Cast Inquiry. Take a bunch of damage. Contentious Plane is free. Okay, adding counters. I go to 4. Trying to think how I can get this done. We need to gain a bunch of life. Right now, we'll still be at 3 after we get smacked. I think I'm just gonna burn this Chalice here. Okay, cast this for 0. Cast Weather Storm. Pass the turn. So we gain 15 life. Pretty much just the 1 turn. We can muddle the mixture, but that doesn't really do anything. I think we just end up losing here. Unless we draw a Proliferate. If we draw a Proliferate, we could potentially like cast it and storm off a little bit more. We take 10. Like we can muddle the mixture for something, but alright, draw some cards. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So our Moment's Peace are coming in, potentially the Anoints. We are going to cut the Cannonades for sure. I think the wall's going to be fine. Muddle the Mixture can pick up the Moment's Peace. Let's just cut the Anoints. Although that is a big blowout and they might not see it coming. We might not have time for some stuff, so maybe we just trim on 1 Deep Analysis. Alright. We're on the play now. Yep, we would like to play first. No, we would not like to keep that hand. Oh man, mulligan? Well, this will be fast. Mulligan? Okay. We are now at 4 cards. So we're going to get rid of these 3, I think. Play land and pass the turn. We'll get to play the Prologue, start our card drawing. Opponent's on mold of 5 with the turn 1 Benevolent Bodyguard. Okay, Prologue, draw a card. Find a Peat Bog. So our mana engine is coming online. We can cast both of these 2 cards. Ethereal Armor on the Bodyguard. Okay, we get in for 2. So next turn we can cast Deep Analysis, which is good. 1 and 1. Hopefully they're not playing something like Mana Tithe. 4 damage. Okay, we're going to go to 14. It's Vigilance. It's got First Strike. It's got all the things. We're going to play our land. Now we're looking for Moment's Pieces. Draw some cards. There's a Moment's Piece. Perfect. Now it's a 6/6. We bash in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can cast Steady Progress. Let's play this Woodlot. Cast Steady Progress. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's. So if they Mana Tithe, we're dead, right? Whatever. Let's Deep Analysis. Should I play around Mana Tithe? I guess so. Let's pass the turn. I'm a little bit afraid. Moment's Peace. Oh, they could have the card that removes that from the graveyard. Alright, we got a lot going on here. So I think I lead on the Pentad Prism. Play Augury. Another Moment's Peace. Okay, good. Lands. Done. Now we can. I want to get the Academy Wall into play. Then we can block and then play the Moment's Peace. Play out the land so that the Steady Progress can get cast if we want. I don't think we're going to want to cast it though. Looks like our opponent is going to simply not get rid of my Moments Piece from the graveyard, so we have a potential chance here. Okay, first step is block, then cast Moments Piece. We have double piece. We could also just let the Academy Wall die, but I don't think I want to. I'm going to use the loot to discard the Scary, I think. Yes. Okay, we'll discard the Peat Bog, actually. Cool. Pass the turn. Right now they're at 3 poison. We have 2 more turns that we can buy. Looking a little sketchy. Find another Pentad Prism. Do enjoy that, because now we have tons and tons of mana after we use our proliferation. Let's go ahead and steady progress. Say yes to the loot. I guess we discard the Scary. Draw a card. And then proliferate all of our stuff. Making sure to click everything. Sometimes I misclick, it's a problem. We have Augury. Let's play another Pentad Prism. I suppose we storm off a bit. Blue. Augury here. We find a Weather the Storm. Okay. And we'll definitely just take some more draw spells. Putting counters on all my stuff. Let's Inquiry. That puts us to 3. I think we just cast the Weather the Storm here. Pass the turn. This means that we don't have to cast the Moments Piece. Huzzah! We've gained a life. They're at 6. When we do cast the Moments Piece, we'll get to loot, so we can get rid of the Chalice. We have lots of mana. I think I'll just take 1 turn of hits, depending on what they have. Another Bodyguard. Okay, they're going to give that protection from blue, and they're going to pump their Sky Guard. So we'll take 10. Sure. We take 10. We go to 11. They have 1 card in hand. We find a Contentious Plan. Alright, let's go for the Contentious Plan. Doink. We get to loot. Of course we do. Of course we want to loot. We'll discard the Chalice. Draw a card. Just go ahead and put some counters on. Okay, everything's been clicked. Alright, we'll play another wall. Pass the turn. So they're going to give it protection from blue again. And I think in this moment we need to cast the Moments Piece. They're giving their Bodyguard protection so that it gets some counters. Alright. Protection from black. So they are playing around the Anoints. That's okay, we're just not going to play them. We're just relying on Foggin. So far Academy Wall has been decent. Here we get to double loop. Cartouche. I'm ready for you to go to 1 card in hand, opponent. Or 0 cards in hand. What is your last card? They haven't been playing anything. I feel like it's probably either a protection spell or a land. Okay, they're gonna go in for lethal. They attack. We cast Moments Piece. We get to double loot. We will loot. Discard this. Turn off auto yields. Discard this. So now with this trigger on the stack, we'll draw a card. That way, after we do the card draw, then we can loot again. We're going to go to 8 poison. Potentially, we'll draw into our 3rd Moments Piece and be able to get there. Okay. Steady progress. You get a poison. Get some counters. Click in everything. Okay. Alright, we'll discard the Chalice. And discard the Scary now. Pass turn. No blocks. Stay at 11. We've got the Chalice in hand. They play a Sacred Cat. Okay. So now they're out of threats. We have another Moments Piece, so we'll just pass the turn. So they're going to attack. I think I'm going to cast the Moments Piece. Draw. Discard Chalice. Draw. Discard the Chalice. Okay, pass the turn. No blocks. We're looking pretty good here. So let's go for Deep Analysis. And then I'm not going to loot. I guess we always do, right? Discard piece. Yes. Discard the Scary. What I was thinking was, since we only get to loot once this turn, that we should just not loot on the first one, but I don't know. That's something I haven't thought about. Usually I just always loot, But here we just win. Donk. Alright, do we want to change anything? Academy Wall was superior there. Liked it a lot. We could bring in the Annoyance. Felt like the Moments Piece were good enough. We can muddle for Moments Piece as well. I think about us enough time. Let's just submit. So I'm going to keep this because I have a lot of blue mana, but I don't have a proliferation spell. We had the Moments Piece and the Weather the Storms. So they're going to lead on a 1/1 that doesn't get pumped. We draw Deep Analysis. Let's play the Scary. Skyguard comes out. Okay. We need another color of mana. This is definitely a tough spot. Can't really tap my Scaries because we end up losing them. Let's pass the turn. Darn. So we're going to get here by not having any colored sources. And that's simply because we don't have a contentious land in hand. So this is probably a mulligan. Oh god. So we have to... We're taking 10. Prologue. Another Chalice. Academy Wall. Prologue again. That doesn't do it. Alright, they got us. Yeah, should have mulliganed. We'll go to round 2. Okay, round 2. We don't have a blue source. We're going to mulligan. Alright, this is pretty decent. We're keeping. Think I can put back the Inquiry here. Done. Can lead on the Woodlot. Turn 2 Prologue. Turn 3 Augury. Looks like they're on Affinity. Okay, that solves our problems. We're just going to go Prism into Augury. Actually, we can Prism into Prologue and then play the Augury on the next turn. That way we can start the infection chain. Bam, bam. Okay, Prism comes into play. We play the Prologue. Pass the turn. So we'll just pass the turn and then see if they tap out. If they tap off of blue, we can play the Augury first and then cast the Infectious Inquiry. But if they're holding up a counterspell, we don't want to do that. They're not holding up a counterspell. Go Augury. Looking for another... Yikes. Was really looking for another way to proliferate. Chalice is okay. Take the Chalice here. Then I'm going to draw 2. Draw some cards. Alright, that's good. So we can go Chalice into Augury, into Prism. They get in for 4 and play land. Plays another Enforcer. Looks like they're going to tap some more cards. They Reckoner's Bargain. So now we get to do whatever we want. Okay, let's go Chalice. Play the Augury. Well, so the thing is here, we could go Pentad Prism into Augury. Then just lean on, just get rid of this land. Probably better. Pentad Prism. Cast this Augury. Get another Prism or a Cannonade. I think I'll take the Prism. You get a poison. Put some counters on these things. And then we'll go play the Pentad Prism. And then cast a Weather the Storm. Pass the turn. So we gain 15, which is just 2 attacks from them. We're going to need some more of those for sure. Our next turn looks like land, Deep Analysis, go. Take 8, go to 21. Thoughtcast from the opponent. 3 mana available. They're tapping off of blue again. Probably another Thoughtcast. A Preordain. I wonder how many of those that they're playing. They go bottom, bottom. Maybe they're looking for lands. Or Kenku's, just more threats and stuff. They could have an Angler here. I think our best draw right now would be any of the proliferation cards. You can cast it and then have a ton of mana, and cast Deep Analysis. Quark. So they have 9 power on board. So we'll just multi-kicker this. Draw 2. Find a Prism, play the Woodlot. Pass the turn. Pass the turn again. Hopefully our next turn is big. We're going to go to 11 and then to 8 off the Deep Analysis. So we have to find a Weather Storm. Our opponent plays a Chromatic Star after attacking for 9. Now they have 10, 11 on board. Play Blood Fountain. Probably loot here. They do not loot. Okay, we'll go with a Pentad Prism. So we have a ridiculous amount of mana now. start the chain. We have... Okay, it's probably not necessary to keep the chalice in play. Just steady progress here. Getting much mana. If they play a Metallic Rebuke, I'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay, you go to 5. Tons of mana now. Done. Cast another steady progress. Even more mana. Done. A contentious plan. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. Can we get there? Literally tons of mana. Almost infinite amounts. Okay, you're at 7. Infectious Inquiry. Black. So this puts us to 10. You go to 8. We were already dead to, okay, Academy Wall is good. Blue, play this Academy Wall. And then it looks like we're going to play the Deep Analysis. Academy Wall will let us loot as well. Now our Chalice is off the table though. Go ahead and Deep. We'll say yes here. We're looking for a Proliferation spell, or Weather the Storm. Okay, so they clearly have 2 blasts in hand, and they're looking for the third one. Blast, blast, blast. They found it off the top. Well done, opponents. Well done. Or they maybe just had it in hand the whole time. I don't know why they didn't just cast it. It's so ridiculous. Classic Affinity. I'll just have my 3 blasts. No big deal. Moment's Peace. So we can play Moment's Peace or Anoint with Affliction. Let's bring in the Moment's Pieces, getting rid of 1 Chalice, and submit. Okay, we're back up. We're on the play against Affinity. We have Academy Wall plus Contentious Plan. I think I'm keeping. I think I'm going to play a turn 2 Wall and then turn 3 Plan. Keep go. Not sure if that's like... That seems good. Play the Wall. Pass the turn. Now they could be just holding up Pyroblast as well. They play a Wellspring. I definitely want to loot here. Let's play Plan. Get rid of this Peat Bog. And draw a card. Get a Proliferation. Man, there's a lot of steps here. Pass the turn. Pass again. Then we'll go for Deep Analysis this turn. We'll play a Blood Fountain and then a land. And they are going to play Thoughtcast, holding up a Metallic Rebuke, it looks like. They're going to play an Enforcer. Alright, play the Woodlot. Draw some cards. Yes, we would like to loot. We'll discard their Deep Analysis or the Peat Bog. I guess it's going to be the Deep. Draw some cards. Guess I should have discarded the Peat Bog. We have Steady Progress into Moment's Peace. I can just block here. Block. It's an 0-5, baby. They can Gal Blast it. So with the Infectious Inquiry in hand, we definitely want to get that off. So basically, if they tap out of a counter, we can play Steady Progress into Inquiry. They might not, though. So they're just going to kill my wall. They do tap out. Alright, cool. Play the blue land. Steady Progress. Get some more counters on our stuff. I always click them, but I messed up. Like, not necessary. Infectious Inquiry. Okay. We are taking 8 damage, going to 10, and then we have double Moment's Peace. So I guess we're just dead to triple Gal Blast yet again. They've already used 1 on our wall. Yikes. They have basically infinite damage. Okay. Fair enough. Play this Woodlot. Let's play Pentad Prism. Cast an Everflowing Chalice for 1. Try casting Contentious Plan. Okay, that resolves. Stay done. Get another Everflowing Chalice onto the battlefield for 1. And we'll pass the turn. We are at 7. Dead to any number of Galvanics right now, basically. Our opponent brings in the Gorilla Shaman. We knew this was a possibility. They go for the killing the Chalice. We respond with a Moment's Peace. they're going to respond by doing something or nothing. They could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blow up the Pentad Prism. They Deadly Dispute instead. Now they have 4 mana available. Moment's Peace resolves. Chalice is dead. Our opponent's feeling Mighty Fly. Kills my other Chalice. What? No attacks. Yeah. So I guess we lead on a prologue. I'm going to cast the Steady Progress, getting back my counter. They're probably going to blow up the Prism. Play this Peatbog out, or we can just go ahead and prologue again. Play the Peatbog, pass the turn. They're going to draw a card, sacrificing their thing because they have so much power already. Don't really need anything else. All they need is double Gal Blast again. They've used 1, and they have seen 23 cards. Somehow we've drawn more cards than them. They went bottom looking for the Galvanic, so they probably only have 1 or 0 in hand. They are going to attack. Cast Moment's Peace. Alright, that resolves, so we'll just cast this prologue. You're at 6. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent has a Thought Cast and a Mirror Enforcer. Blows up the Prism. That's so strange. We had no idea that was going to happen. Okay, prologue. You have 7. Augury's good. Play the Woodlot. Cast Augury. They could have Pyroblast. Negate. Okay. Let's... Well, I think I just Deep Analysis here. Then hope they don't have a counterspell. Moment's Peace. Alright, we got past 1 counter. But now the only way that we can live, or that we can win, is by blasting ourselves with the Deep Analysis and putting ourselves dead to the Galvanics. They're on 4 Preordains. So they cast Preordain, went top bottom. They cast another Preordain, went top top. So they have at least 2 cards that they wanted. Cast Munitions. Reckoner's Bargain. Sacrificing a Kenku, I think? I don't know. A land? Sacrificing a land. Since Kenku doesn't matter. I would have just sacrificed a Kenku. Okie dokie. Draw some cards. And here comes the Galvanic. No. Cast the Infectious Inquiry. We're dead to Galvanic already. Muddle for Weather. Play Scary. So we can muddle right now. We can cast Weather. Play another Scary out. Okay, we're going to gain 9. Once again, we're going to upkeep Moment's Peace. Pass the turn. Alright. We lose to Affinity. Let's try to get some good matchups, huh? Round 3 versus Thopter. Pew pew! Okay, first hand was not a keep, but this one is. We'll just get rid of the Steady Progress as the most expensive of our proliferations. Turn off our upkeep stop. They're on red, so we're going to go Woodlot, pass. Next turn, Scary, pass. Then we go Prism, Contentious Plan. Then we'll have 8 mana available. We have to try to draw into Weather the Storm or a Fiery Cannonade. Land, your turn. We could actually go Prism, Plan, Augury. But I feel like I would like to try to get some poison counters on it. I don't know if that's necessary or not. Prism. And we resolve that. Resolve another Prism. First thing we're going to do is Contentious Plan. Okay, done. We can resolve the Infectious Inquiry right now. Will we be dead? This is 4, 8. Probably will be dead. Plan. We can actually muddle for Weather right now. Let's Experimental Augury looking for Weather. Find an Inquiry. I guess we muddle for Weather. That kind of sucks though. I'm just going to pass. Play Synthesizer. Synthesizer again. Forge Chanter and Galblast. Galvanic, I think I'm going to counter it. Pass the turn. I go to 11. I find my own Weather the Storm. Let's cast the Infectious Inquiry. Play Woodlot. Play Weather. That's a bummer weather for sure. Back to 15. They have another Galblast for 4. Let's keep jamming. Implement puts us to 10. The attack put us to 6. You have another card in hand. You can go Bolt, Fire Blast, and we'd be dead. Here it is. They didn't have it. How did they not have it? Opponent, come on. Progress. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boink. You can play the Academy Wall. Then play this. Inquiry. Don't think that does anything. Yeah, draw a card. Discard the Deep Analysis. Draw 2. Prism. So this has to find Weather the Storm. Man, not coming together very well. Alright. They pewed us. Yeah, I mean, I think the deck is set up in game 1 as much as we can. Let's try again. Alright, I felt like we were under the gun the entire time there. I'm going to keep this. It may be wrong. Play the Woodlot. That's the turn. Play the Peat Bog next. They have this turn 1 Swifty. Okay, we found a Cannonade. That's the turn. Reckless Impulse. So Cannonade is very good. It does not do very well against Forge Chanter though. Scary. Okay. Prism. Cast a Chalice. Then let's just plan and pass. Pass the turn. Play the Forge Chanter. Right. And they're going to get in for 1. Kind of want to hold our Weather the Storm open. Let's start with the Inquiry. Draw some cards. Play an Academy Wall. Play this Woodlot. We'll pass the turn. Come on, Academy Wall. Synthesizer. Yep. Everything's gigantic. So they draw off the Synthesizer. They reveal a Furnace. So they play that. They have Super Duper Metalcraft. Going to tap 2 mana. 1 mana. Casting another Synthesizer. Okay. Here comes the Synth. They find a Chain Lightning. We could direct that at their creature, but they Chain Lightning target me. Okay, we're gonna just not replicate that. We're getting in for 8. I will block Lightning Bolt. Cast Weather Storm. Now we get our loot. Yeah, we would like the loot. We're going to get rid of so an island or a prism. I guess the island. Or we could get rid of the Deep Analysis. And then draw. It's probably better to get rid of the island. Last turn. Okay, we take 5 plus the 5. So we take 10 total. Can muddle here. Alright, let's do that. Skip prism. Okay. Blue, transmute. We're looking for an augury because that'll help us find our next spell. Cast the augury. I think we want just the island. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess the prologue. Take the prologue. Anywhere. You. And I clicked all my stuff. Okay. Let's draw 2. Draw 2 like this. Deep Analysis. Deep Analysis again. Play this Scary out and pass. We're at 15. They have 4 open mana and 2 prowess creatures. It's entirely possible that we just die here. They have Galvanic Blast and Smash to Smithereens. They blow up our Chalice. Yep, that makes sense. That was a good mana source for us. Okay, we find another Academy Wall. I'm going to lead on playing the Academy Wall, then playing Prologue. Cast the Prologue. We'll take the loot. Yes. Discarding Deep Analysis. Draw. Flashback the Deep Analysis. Cast the Augury. Looking for weather. We find the weather. You. Okay. Put some counters on all our stuff. Now we're going to cast a Prologue in case we find a Proliferate spell, but we didn't. Cast Weather Storm. Ba-boing! Just got poisoned in MTGA, they said. Reckless Impulse. You find Smash and Great Furnace. Just smash one of our prisms. I think I'm going to not block here. Take the damage. Simply because I really want to be able to resolve these things. Galblast us. Okay, Contentious Plan. Let's play a Woodlot out. Does that matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. Let's play Contentious Plan. Then we get to loot. Yes. Discard this. Draw a card. Misclick. Double click some things and misclick some things. You go to 6. Find a Weather the Storm. Cast Inquiry. Cast this Prologue. Looking for stuff to do, really. Just looking for stuff to do. Okay, cast this Chalice for 1. Doink, good doink. Lay out another Scary. And then cast a Weather. 15 more. My opponent was like, you have another Weather Storm? They play a Synthesizer. Another Smash to Smithereens. They Smash to Smithereens on... looks like the Chalice. Yep. They were a little bit annoyed that I gained 40 life. You can see from this game that it clearly doesn't matter. Like, the deck is drawing so many cards. The red deck is drawing so many cards that, like, this just doesn't matter whatsoever. All this life gain. They're going to continue to blast in. Reckless Impulse. Okay. Double Mountain. I'm not locking. They have a Bolt. Puts me to 3. Okie dokie. We will try again. Land. Deep Analysis. We will draw. We'll discard this. Draw some cards. Pentad Prism. I think this actually wins the game for us. Done. Cast Steady Progress. And then put stuff on all of our lands. You go to 9. Yep. And then we'll just Contentious Plan for the game. Finally we win. Saltily scooped ASAP. They wouldn't let me click the things. I let you burn me. Come on. Alright, try again. I wonder if Candidate's not that good. They didn't seem like they went... No, they did go wide in game 1, though. See, this is another problem, I think, with the red deck, is that you can't really, like, what do I do? What choices do I make? They have Prowess, and they have the go wide. Do I just go straight into Moments Pieces? They have 50 burn spells. We have 2 Weather the Storms and a Prism, but nothing else to do, so we have to mulligan. Mulligan that one. Guess this is keepable. I'm going to put back land. Cancel. Back this land. And this land. So we'll go turn 2 Chalice into Augury, hoping that they don't have smashes. There's an Epic here, so... Alright, beat Bog, pass the turn. They play a Chanter. I'm gonna get my blue source or green source onto the battlefield. Pass again. They have Experimental Synthesizer into a Forge Chanter. Cannot cast it. Chain Lightning us. We're gonna take 4 and go to 11. Or is the Chanter? Yeah, no. We have to develop our mana. Play Implement of Combustion. We're almost dead. They smack in for 3. We're going to go to 8. Nope, they have a Galvanic. So we're going to go to almost dead. Okay. Lead on Augury. Find another Augury. We're going to cast... so we can cast Prologue first, and then Augury, but it's probably just better to do that. Prologue, cast Augury. So we have to find Weather Storm right now. Didn't find it. Easy day. Okay, so we're 0-3. We're gonna drop and talk about the deck. I think that this is not too bad of a setup, but we just got steamrolled by everybody. We couldn't get our Weather Storms off fast enough. Fairy Cannonade was not really where, like, didn't do what we wanted. Feel bad about this video, but you know, sometimes you bomb. Uh, Hopefully you enjoyed just seeing me get smashed. We played against Affinity and Kuldotha and you know, off-meta Heroic, but if this deck can't beat Affinity and Kuldotha, then it's kind of something we need to shelve. I do think Academy Wall was cool, but we're gonna probably table this deck for a little while. We'll see you in the next video.